Hey guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We are here for season 4 of the Big Fuss Show. Let's go.
Can I please have your attention?
What's all the commotion around here?
What are you talking about?
Let them yap at you.
It's actually very exciting.
Welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. I've got John Hammonds on here with me tonight. What's up, Hammonds?
What's up, man?
I was going to say you must be muted.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so we had week 1 of college football this past weekend. There's a lot to kind of dive into this week. We are glad to be back with you guys for the Big Fuss Show. It's always a fun show to do. If you are with us on Facebook, we appreciate you. You can help support us by sending stars or by being a subscriber for only 99 cents a month. And right now, you can get that for half price, 49 cents a month. First 5 people to sign on and subscribe, you get your own subscribers page and chat and a few other things. But those are the main things that you get. Couple of other things before we get started here, John. If you are on Facebook with us, please like and follow. If you are on YouTube with us, please like and subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate all of you guys, each and every one of you that come on the show with us. So just to have a little bit here to talk about, I'm going to put up on the bottom of the screen about the Big Fuss Show. This is season 4, John. Does it feel like we are on season 4?
It does not, unfortunately. It seems like it's probably year 2, seems like.
Yeah, man, it goes by fast. So, all right, we are going to get started, John, with the new AP poll. The new AP poll come out today. It was a day late, actually, because of the Monday night games. So it come out today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we always kind of run through, John, if you can get that pulled up, we will kind of run through the new AP poll for after week 1.
1 was Ohio State. They moved into the top spot. 2 was Penn State. 3 was LSU. 4 was Georgia. 5 was Miami. 6 was Oregon. 7 was Texas. 8 was Clemson. 9 was Notre Dame. 10 was South Carolina. 11 was Illinois. 12 was Arizona State. 13 was Florida. Florida State was 14. 15 was Michigan. 16 Iowa State. 17 SMU. 18 Oklahoma. 19 A&M, Texas. 20 Ole Miss. 21 Alabama. It's unusual to see them that far down. 22 Tennessee. 23 Indiana. 24 Texas Tech. And 25 was Utah. Just missing was BYU and Auburn.
So were there any surprises? Was you surprised that that Clemson, Notre Dame did not fall out of the top 10, but Alabama fell all the way down to 21?
Man, I don't know, man. Like, I'm all in on South Carolina, but my question is, how are they moving up 3 spots given against a pretty weak Virginia Tech team?
And the score was 10-8 in that game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and how did Arizona State move down? That's my question. So there was a couple questions in there, but beyond those 2, I think they pretty much done everything right in the polls.
I mean, It wasn't a surprise that Ohio State climbed to number one after beating Texas, who was the preseason number one. But I will say this. I mean, outside Ohio State's defense, like they really, I mean, the defense played good, but man, 14 points winning a game isn't
Well,
much.
and another question somebody had, I think it was somebody said something about why keep Notre Dame in the top 10. Well, you got to remember they went into a tough environment
On the road and
they
played
had
it.
They had an inexperienced quarterback and almost beat a really good, talented Miami team. You know, Notre Dame's got a lot to address in the next, 2 weeks. Its season is far from gone. We saw what they did last year after the Northern Illinois loss, but they don't have no room for error. You know, they got Boise at home. They got Texas A&M at home. They still got to play USC. I could still see Notre Dame losing 2 games and still making the playoffs. But they're going to have to figure things out because there was times where they never used Jeremiah Love. They just did not open the offense up for him. I don't know if it was the game plan against Miami or if Love was just being, covered up. There was a lot of things that went wrong, and I thought Miami played really well too. I thought Carson Beck looked like Carson Beck from 2 years ago.
Yeah, so let's kind of open it up. We're going to get to some opening hot topics from week one, John. These are kind of quick hitters here just to kind of open the show. Of course, I've already mentioned that Ohio State beat Texas at the Horseshoe 14-7. They held the Longhorns to just 7 points. And that kind of opened the day on Saturday. Another big surprise was how Florida State handled Alabama. We will get to more of that. But what's some other opening hot topics and surprises that you come up with?
I'm kind of surprised LSU went into Clemson and won. Garrett Nussmeier really did not have a great game. He did just enough to win. I think,
What's up, Josh?
Clemson had some tough times against that LSU defense. I think they only had 261 yards. That ain't a lot, but at the end of the day, a win's a win on the road. Tigers got a tough schedule. They play Florida. They go to Ole Miss in September. LSU winning that game was key for their season because they can kind of afford to lose one extra game. I felt like that win Saturday kind of helped them out in terms of their chances at going to the college football playoff.
Absolutely. I agree with you on LSU. That was a huge win for them. Win for Brian Kelly.
Another one that I kind of want to just touch base on was the marriage between Bill Belichick and North Carolina. I mean, listen, y'all. It never made sense.
What's up, Madeline? Glad to see you here.
It never made sense to me, honestly. Maybe we're laughing about this in a year or two. He's probably forgot more football than we'll ever know, Brad. We're not smarter than he is. He's a 6-7 time Super Bowl champion, but you got to realize college football is completely different than NFL. And you're going into a different kind of environment. You're dealing with a lot more younger kids than you are in the NFL. I don't know, man. I just think sometimes it's an overreaction, sometimes it's not. But their talent level last night, there's a big, big deficit. There's maybe 2 guys on that team that's probably going to be mid first rounders at all. They're going to have a tough season.
The thing about last night, I mean, everybody was there. I mean, you got Michael Jordan showing up. You got Lawrence Taylor there. I mean, you got Roy Williams there. I mean, like Tar Heel greats from all different kinds of sports and all different kinds of decades. And, everybody's there making a big deal, which it is a big deal. I mean, Bill Belichick being there is a big deal. I'm not going to say that it's not. But, man, What a long, long night that must have been for all the North Carolina Stars.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
he wanted to get back into it, so throw him in the fire. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, welcome, Bill Belichick to college football. Now you got to coach. You got to actually get some players there, and you got to try to coach and win some games because last night looked really bad. Just to be honest.
it
Another
was.
thing, for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The Tennessee offense looked a lot better in week one than I was expecting. And a hot topic for me, I thought a lot of your big teams that usually puts a lot of points on the board, I thought a lot of those teams struggled this week.
They did. Ohio State, Texas. You know,
I mean, Clemson, LSU,
Clemson, LSU. That
South
broadcast.
Carolina. Everybody's talking about Sellers and this and that and the Heisman race. It was literally a 10-8 game at the start of the fourth quarter.
I'm going to tell you a team that really impressed me Saturday, and I know you hate them, is the Tennessee Vols.
I said Tennessee put more points up on the board than I thought.
I didn't hear you. That was my fault. I thought Tennessee looked really good. I think Joey Aguilar is going to be he looks the part. And you add that Tennessee defense to them, we might be talking about a Tennessee team that could possibly win the SEC with some of the teams that have lost, early, kind of jump ahead of teams. So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. It's just week one. So
Josh brings up a good subject to talk about here week one. Lee Corso officially retired, and he had his last headgear pick. And the great thing is he was a perfect 6-0 in his last picks. And every team that he played for or coached
won.
Every single one of them won.
Yep.
On Saturday. Yep. So it was a pretty awesome send-off for Lee Corso. And, got to give Josh a little shout out there for putting that up for us to talk about because that was a big deal. And I don't think Belichick's going to get Tom Brady anytime soon, Jerry. I'm just going to break it to you. I don't think he's coming to North Carolina. He's like 47, 48 years old. His time's expired in college. All right, John, we are going to move on to our next segment. We are going to move on to our pick six, guys. Hang on just a minute. I was looking for it. Here we go. We're going to move on to our pick six segment, John. So we've already talked about the AP poll. I want to know from you, John, what is your top six teams after week one? What do you think are the top six teams? I know the AP poll has their order. After what we've seen on Saturday and week 0 as well, who do you think is your top six teams so far, just after week one? You are muted, John. I can't hear you.
I think you got to go Ohio State 1. Georgia's probably 2. 3 is Penn State. 4 is probably LSU. 5 is Texas. And I would put Oregon at number 6. I think this Oregon team's pretty good.
So you still have Texas in your top 5?
I do, but there's some kinks in the armor, as they would say, that kind of throw me back against Ohio. Which, granted, they was playing Ohio State, but that was not a good look.
I mean, they definitely have the pieces, and we're going to dig into that a little more in our next segment. But I mean, unfortunately, right now, Ohio State is probably going to get the nod at number one. I kind of tend to think maybe Penn State deserves to be number one. To be honest with you, right?
I don't know. They beat Nevada. I mean, I based it pretty much on them beating Texas, Ohio State. I mean, Penn State is probably the second best team in the Big Ten, but until they play somebody and kind of knock off Ohio State, I'm going to leave the Buckeyes where they are because James Franklin has not impressed me much.
Virginia Beach. We got Virginia Beach in the house. What's up, Dave?
So that's just I mean, I like James Franklin, but until he wins a big one, I'm kind of going to be safe about my pick about Penn State.
Well, at LSU, I mean, going into Death Valley to Clemson, beating the Tigers is not an easy task. And holding them to 10 points, Klubnik is a heck of a quarterback.
I'm going to tell you something, and I'll say this. LSU is probably the biggest winner of the weekend, honestly. They beat Fort Frank Clemson. They delivered a statement. Their defense is probably maybe the best in the country. Blake Baker might have just turned around that whole defensive staff.
Well, they looked good. They looked good on Saturday night.
I think a top five ranking is deserved. The win that they had, which they ended up getting, staying there is another problem for LSU because they got 6 more teams on their schedule that are ranked. They play the Gators in 2 weeks. So we'll find out what LSU's made of here in the next couple of weeks and see where they stand there.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. Let's move on to our second pick six topic of the night. Top 6 quarterbacks that you've seen in week 1 or week 0. Let's talk about our top quarterbacks and top quarterback play because there's a lot of good quarterbacks. And like I said, some of them struggled. So not talking about the struggles, but who actually impressed you in week 1?
I'm going to go a different route. I think McIver from Western Kentucky is having a really good season. He's in my top 6. He's number 6. I felt like he's,
I've been kind of jokingly, but I've been saying he's for Heisman.
Yeah, he's really good. This is you can kind of go through these like a crapshoot. Like I thought John Mateer played really well Saturday against Illinois State. He had 30 of 37.
Mateer's a good pick in your top 6.
Mateer's a good one. He's 5. I'm getting Nussmeier would be in there. I want to tell you a guy you need to put in there, and everybody's going to be like, you know what? We kind of overranked him last year, and they kind of didn't know what to expect. Is Jackson Arnold? He played good Friday night against Baylor.
Yep.
Auburn looks. I wouldn't say they're back, but they look like Auburn.
I'm not ready to say they're back. It was just one game, but
it was. But they looked like Auburn. They looked like an Auburn team. Let's see,
Jerry. I think everyone knows that we're not going to say his name just yet.
I'm going to go another one. Josh Hoover, from TCU. I thought he played excellent last night. Don't sleep on this TCU team. Now, I know everybody's going to say, well, they beat North Carolina by double digits. North Carolina's not a great team, no, but this TCU team's good, especially on defense, offense. They got a pretty good team. I thought Lenore Sellers played really good. He's another one. He struggled probably up until, the fourth quarter. There was times where he just did not look like himself at times, but he finally figured it out and started playing. Man, this is hard to But my number one overall this weekend is probably going to be Darian Mensah from Duke. Listen, I thought he played absolutely outstanding in the game this past week. He's going to be a problem, a major problem for teams in the ACC. And I would even go as far as say that Beck is up there. Carson Beck had a really great weekend.
That's who, I'm going to be honest with you, John. That's the name I was going to throw out. Listen, everybody has talked bad about Carson Beck for a year, it seems like. But I'm going to be honest with you. Watching that Miami Notre Dame on Sunday night, there was a stretch there where Beck went like 12 for 12 in the middle of the game, put Miami out 21-7. And was playing as well as anybody in the country. I know his numbers wasn't 350 yards or nothing like that, but man, he played really well, made some great throws, put the ball on the money. I think Carson Beck was easily one of the top 6 quarterbacks of the week. I was impressed by Carson Beck.
I was, especially his poise. You know, he made that strong throw that wide receiver made an unbelievable catch on
the touchdown.
There was some fun plays in that Miami Notre Dame game.
There was, and that was a good, really, really good game. I was surprised a little bit in this game, about Love not getting as many carries as what I thought he should get.
He didn't get a lot, no.
Yeah, that was kind of my biggest surprise. And then Greathouse was nowhere
no.
in this game. And he was like the reason why Notre Dame made it to the finals last year. He had some really good games in the college football playoff. They're going to have to get Love and Greathouse going for sure down up at South Bend, to be honest. All right. Is there any other quarterback names that you want to throw out, or are we good with this one?
We're good on this one.
All right, John. We're going to go to no-fly zone. We haven't done one of these for a while, John, but we're going to dig into a few hot topics here in the no-fly zone, and I've got a few questions for you. So we're going to jump into these. And the first one I have is going to be all about Alabama. We're going to dig into the Crimson Tide just a little bit. But I'm going to ask you a simple question. Fly or no fly, Kalen DeBoer turns Bama's season into a positive run. Are you fly or no fly?
Man, that's a trick question because right now it's a cluster. I mean, you saw what happened Saturday. There's a concerning trend with this Alabama team. They're 5-5 since beating Georgia last year.
They've lost 3 of their last 4 games.
And you look at the other side, Florida State, they was 2-10 last year. They controlled this game physically.
They did. They just ran the ball. Honestly, in the second half, they ran the ball down Alabama's throat.
They did. Their defense struggled. They had some false starts. They had penalties on defense. They was undisciplined. Ty Simpson could not get free at times. The line could not block for him. He was running for his life. Brad,
Jerry said they lose 4 games and miss the playoffs.
I'm going to quote a famous movie. Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. Well, Toto, we're not in the Saban era anymore.
Clearly.
I mean,
Nick Saban coached something like 235 games or something like that at Alabama. He only had 4 unranked losses versus unranked teams in 235 games. Guess how many Kalen DeBoer has in 14 games? 4.
4. Yeah.
He has
I'm
the
gonna say-
same
I'm
amount of
gonna say no.
losses to unranked teams.
I'm gonna say no fly, Brad. I don't like where this ship is heading for Alabama. Now they'll probably win this weekend. They play Louisiana Monroe, but
Matt, you got to slow your roll a little bit. Kentucky's not in there for a reason, more than likely.
exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
We're not even close.
If we beat Mississippi on Saturday, I might say we deserve some votes. We won't be in there, but we deserve some votes.
Yeah, I mean, we're just not a great offensive team right now. We got some work to do. But I'm going to say no fly, Brad. I think, I don't like the way this ship is going because I want to tell you something about Alabama football. They're not used to losing.
They don't like losing.
They don't like losing.
They're a bunch of sore losers, if you want to know the truth.
And I'm going to be honest with you. During the Nick Saban era, they rarely lost a game. Rarely.
16 straight 10-plus win seasons.
And this gets to an 8-4 year, and you're talking what? A Pop-Tart Bowl or a Music City Bowl?
Him and Belichick being the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I'm not sure that Alabama brings him back. But the problem you got, he's got a $74 million buyout.
Yeah. That's
where it gets dicey.
It's tough after a year or two, man, to be honest.
I'm going to say no fly, Brad. I don't like where this is heading with Kalen DeBoer. I really don't.
All right, so I'm gonna speak on this one too. Okay, now I'm gonna say this. I liked the hire of Kalen DeBoer. I liked the hire. I thought he was hot. He had taken Washington to the national championship game. They were undefeated. He had done really, really well with Michael Penix Jr. Out at Washington. Him and Ryan Grubb, who is now the OC this year, back with him, had done a fantastic job with the wide receivers out there, including the quarterback. I thought that this was going to be not a hire that they were just going to run and continue Nick Saban, but I thought this was going to be a hire that was really going to continue a high-level winning tradition at Alabama. Now, 14 games in, I'm going to be honest with you, Kalen DeBoer has a huge, huge hole to dig out of. Ryan Grubb is back. He's only got the one game. And Ty Simpson's the quarterback, and Ty Simpson deserves his chance. I don't care what Bama fans are saying. Ty Simpson deserves his chance. He deserves more than one game. He deserves 3 games, 4 games, somewhere in that rate. That raised.
I'm kind of going to back you up on this a little bit. You know what? Really, it wasn't the quarterback. I thought the quarterback play was good at times.
It was defense.
The line was bad at times offensively. They had a lot of undisciplined stuff. Kind of reminded me of the Kentucky team a year ago. Just dumb penalties, just knocking guys out of bounds.
Speaking of that,
just dumb stuff.
Speaking of those dumb penalties, this is where I want to go. Kalen DeBoer, you are 14 games into your tenure at Alabama. Every single game that you have coached with the A on your chest, you have had more penalties than your opponent. Every single game that you've coached. I'm going to tell you, if you're going to turn this around and make this a positive run, you have to fix that right now, this week. You have to show some discipline with your players and teach that in the games. Because that's one place that Alabama's going wrong.
And I'll say another concerning trend that really bothered me that kind of just stuck out to me Saturday was nobody has ever pushed Alabama around. You know, they're always the more physical team. They're always the more poised team. And Florida State just bullied them.
Yep.
And that's not your normal Alabama team.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to finish with this. You said no fly. I'm gonna still ride with Kalen DeBoer here, even though all signs point that I shouldn't, to be honest. But I still like Kalen DeBoer. I still like this hire, and I still like Ryan Grubb coming back because they've been successful everywhere else. I don't understand why they're having such trouble at Alabama.
And I say that to say this, to end this. The talent's there. It's the coaching. The coaching is
Listen, I said this about Kentucky last year. They had no discipline in that offense. No discipline on the team. Right now, defense, offense, special teams, you are having more penalties every single time you put the cleats on. You can't have that. You got to fix that problem. All right, we are going to continue with our no-fly zone. I've got another topic here, and this one, John, surprised me on Big Noon Kickoff on Saturday. Although we had a show, I think it was our SEC preview show, to be honest with you, John, where we talked about Sark's play calling and how bad it was at times. In dire situations last year. I want to ask you, is Sark's play calling going to keep him from ever winning a title?
It's a possibility. You know, they had their best drive of the game. They got to the red zone. On 1st and goal, they ran I'm guessing a design quarterback run with Manning and did it again on 2nd down. But the third time, I think he got the running back, and on 4th and 1, he decided for a quarterback sneak and didn't get it. Like, why don't you go to the outside? Why don't you do a little, bootleg out to the left? Like, there's some issues with his play calling. You know, you look at it last year in the college football playoff semifinal. There seems to be nothing going on in that big brain of his when it comes to calling plays in the red zone.
I'm telling you, he got down there. They should have beat Ohio State last year.
If they want to have success if he wants to have success at Texas, he's got to figure things out with that. You can't make a square peg fit into a round hole, Brad. So maybe he should try.
There was some real head scratchers on Saturday versus Ohio State again, and it makes you start sitting here wondering, like, when the game is on the line, when it's important, when you're playing a tough opponent, he seems to make some really just boneheaded play calls.
Yeah, I mean, he got conservative. He like I said, he dialed up 4 straight run plays, including, a tush push on 4th down against a Buckeyes defensive front that might be one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
That is pretty young. They added some new guys to that front. But
Arch Manning with the ball. I don't understand, why are you trying to – 3 of those 4 plays was to Arch Manning, but they were using his legs, not his arm.
What I don't understand, Brad, is why don't you spread the defense out? And Arch Manning's athletic enough to make a play with his feet and his arm.
Yeah, but you do that on the outside with the quarterback, not up the middle.
No, that's what I mean. Like, why don't you do that regularly? Like on a first down, like why don't you do an RPO with Manning? Like, quit running it up because you're not going to run up in the middle against Ohio State's
Don't
front
do
four.
that straight up the middle. I mean, the only time a quarterback runs up the middle is one of those delayed draws where you drop back. You know, a delayed draw, you might get some yards up the middle.
Well, and then you had the next, I think it was the next drive, Manning got picked off, which led to Ohio State touchdown. That play call is going to be a big sequence in that third quarter was a big sequence in that game because if they score there, they probably got a shot to win this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to put points on the board.
You do, and
I mean,
want to applaud
even if they score a field goal there, it's the fourth down. It's the decisions, the play call. I mean, kick the damn field goal. Why is it so hard for these coaches to not to make these ignorant ass decisions and keep points off the board?
And I'm going to tell you another thing too. You got to give credit to Texas's defense too. They only gave up 203 yards, 4 of 14 for third and fourth downs. Ohio State. They forced a big 3 and out to give Manning a chance to win the game, or tie the game late in the game.
I think they had 4 fourth down stops.
They did. I think Ohio State was 1 of 5. I think. Was it 1 of 5?
I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure. I'm talking about Texas was stopped 4 times on fourth down.
Texas was. I think it was 1 of 5. It was 1 of 5. And 2 of those was in the red zone.
Yeah. Kick the damn field goal. Yeah. I don't understand. I really don't.
Well, if you make a field goal there, it's 7-3. And if you get that touchdown, it's 10-7, and you're right in the game. It just don't make no sense to me.
It blows my mind.
It's a no-fly for me on Sark.
I'm calling no fly here too. If he doesn't vastly improve his play calling, I don't think he ever wins a title at Texas right now. He absolutely has to improve.
He does. Yeah.
All right, we'll scroll down here to the next one. We're going to continue with our Texas theme here with this one, but I want to ask everybody because Arch is kind of getting a bad press, some bad heebie-jeebies, whatever you want to call it, from the game on Saturday. He's getting a lot of blame. I think the play calling sucked. I thought it was pretty close to pretty open with that on the last topic, John. I got a question here for you. Arch Manning, will he get revenge this season from the opening day bad play?
I'll be honest with you, Brad. Their schedule is favorable, but they do got to go to Georgia. There's some games in there that concern me with their offensive performance Saturday against Ohio State. Listen, you take his name away, he's another quarterback.
Maybe. I mean, you might be right.
Quarterback. Inexperienced quarterback. I think wasn't so much Manning. It was more Matt Patricia, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State.
Matt Patricia did an excellent job. That's 100% for sure.
He showed that he is really smart when it comes to defending offenses. He disguised a lot of stuff. They shift into different kind of coverages. They brought pressure from all kinds of different directions. It overwhelmed the kid. And it pretty much overwhelmed Steve Sarkisian to the point that he went for it 4 times at the goal line instead of kicking a field goal. He kept things simple. I thought Manning stared down his receivers for too long. He missed some open receivers. He threw a couple in the double coverage. One pass ended up intercepted. Like, you saw the inexperience of Arch Manning when he walked into Columbus Saturday afternoon. You
Well,
could
let's
tell
be
that
honest, John.
pressure
If
was
they
on.
have better play calling and better decisions, Ohio State had 203 total offensive yards for the entire game.
Well, that's what I say. Like Julian saying, he's a freshman. Like, you knew
And he
he was going to
played
make
great.
mistakes.
Actually, Arch played better than him,
He
in my
did.
opinion.
But Ohio State just made more plays. They made timely drives. They got. I think they only got to Manning once. Was he sacked once?
I think so. Yeah.
I want to tell you something I like about Arch Manning that a lot of people don't see is he does better when he's using his legs
He does on the move.
on the move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
in the pocket on the move. Yeah, I got you.
And I think these next 3 games are going to be a lot. They play. I think it's San Jose State. Now they
play San Jose State this week.
They do get road games against Florida and Georgia. Then they get the Oklahoma game. Now I'm going to tell you, man, they can't afford any 2 more. They're going to this loss. I wouldn't say this loss hurt them, but it's with the SEC as tough as it is, Brad. It's not going to be easy.
If Sark can get on board with trying to actually put points on the board and win the games, I think Manning will be fine. I think Manning is going to be a good quarterback. I'm going to say fly on this one just because of Manning, not because of Sark. I think Sark and the decisions and play calling is what cost Texas that game.
Yeah, it ultimately defined the game. Yeah.
I mean, that's just like I think that's what happened in this game. And then our last topic for No Fly Zone is going to be about Bill Belichick last night. And after watching the debacle last night, 48-14.
Oh, man.
Yes, I said debacle. Yes. After watching that debacle, 48-14 last night, I have this question for you. Does Bill Belichick stay longer than this season in Chapel Hill?
Oh, man. That's hard to – I mean, there's a lot of optimism there. But, shoo, it was –
King Will says no way he stays.
I don't know, Brad. I don't know.
Like, he's got a reputation to keep. He's the 6-time Super Bowl winning quarterback who, by the way, was ran out of New England after winning 6 Super Bowls and Tom Brady leaving. And now he's in Chapel Hill. And if he takes beatings like he did last night, he's going to be 74 years old his next birthday.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it, too.
He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. Isn't it time to just be happy and hit the road, be happy?
Well,
I mean.
And I say that, a lot of fans were excited. They kind of indulged in the moment, the optimism, but it kind of just died in the third quarter. Like the air went out of the stadium. Like it just, it was, I don't know, man. This is the tough one for me. I don't think he does. I think it's a lot because of.
Will says he won't even finish the year. I think he'll finish the year.
I think a lot of it is because of the way college athletics is changing. Like you got the whole NIL stuff. But
that kind of makes it a little bit more like the NFL, a little bit more like what he's used to. Like the game is not as different now as it was 5 years ago.
It will.
To the NFL. Compared to the NFL.
Well, and then you had the little moment where Jordan, his girlfriend, was walking off the field with him. He said something to her. She just walked away. It feels like this is going to be a meme waiting to happen all season long. Like it's like a comedy act. You know what I mean? Like
I'm telling you, it's time to enjoy some life, especially with a 24-year-old girlfriend. Let's just be honest.
yeah, I mean, hey.
I mean, what
Oh,
are you doing, Bill? Chapel Bill
yeah, Bill.
needs to be Bill the Thrill.
Yeah, Bill the Thrill. But mine's a no fly on this, Brad. I think he stays past this year. I just think they need some talent. I do think that if it gets completely overhauled and out of hand, I think North Carolina will do the right thing and let him go. But or if he walks away, but there's still a lot of changes that need to be
I mean,
made.
listen, I have not even looked at his contract. Like, it may be impossible. He may have to stay. I mean, as far as North Carolina getting rid of him, like, I'm not sure. I'm like, it could be his choice, but I'm not even sure. I mean, he's coached one game and was a six-time Super Bowl winning coach. I'm sure he has a pretty locked in contract.
Yeah, he's probably got something there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not so sure that North Carolina can just get rid of him. I mean, honestly.
They just can't like say, "Hey, bye, see you."
Yeah. I mean, if anything, it's going to have to be Belichick realizing maybe this isn't for me and I should just ride off into the sunset. I mean,
With my 24-year-old girlfriend.
I mean, I'm just, that part, I mean, maybe I should just ride off into the sunset. Now, that part I really wasn't trying to joke about. I mean, he's had his time. He's had his like championship runs. He was great for a lot of years. And like I said, he's fixing to be 74 years old. I'm gonna be honest with you though. I think he stays longer than one season. I really do. I don't know if he will make it till the end of next season, but I think he's there at least for two. My guess is three, but I think he's there for at least two. So for this show and for our no fly zone segment, I'm going to say that this is a fly because I said stays longer than this season.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is a fly.
That is a fly for me. Yeah.
All right, so that is going to end our no fly zone segment here, guys. So let me get that off the screen for you guys. And then we are going to do and kind of finish up our show, guys, with a segment that we haven't done for a little while here, but it's a fun one. I love doing these. We're going to finish the show here tonight with the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right. These are good. These are from week 0, or week one here on the first show here. But we each are going to pick a good, we're going to pick a bad, and we're going to pick an ugly from week 1 of college football. So, John, I'm going to throw it to you first. We're going to start with the good. What do you have? You can pick one or two things real quick to talk about. What do you have as your good from college football in week 1?
My good would probably be LSU going into Clemson and knocking off the Tigers. That was really, really good. Trying to think. Another good would probably be South Florida on was it Thursday night, knocking off Boise State. They got a really good quarterback in Byron Brown. I think they got a really good team. The bad, that's tough. The bad. God, there's a lot of bad this weekend, Brad.
There was.
In
There was.
some,
You got
in
to pick
some
one or
games.
two.
The bad. I'm trying to think. I'll go Alabama defense. I thought their defense was not good at all. They struggled to get off the field. They did not play well at all. The line was bad on both sides, offense and defense. Another bad would be that's a good one. I don't know, Brad.
I mean, if you just got one, we can go with that. What do you have for your ugly?
Oh, I'll tell you another bad. I remember. It just hit me. UCLA, Saturday night.
I'm not so sure that one's not ugly.
Well, it can be either or, bad or ugly. But you get a quarterback in Nico Iamaleava. You're improved, and then you just take a smash at home to Utah.
Sean Foster, you better get something going out there, or your days are numbered fast.
Yeah, and my ugly would be North Carolina. Last night, that was just goddamn ugly. It was not great at all.
Especially when you have all the North Carolina greats in the house.
Yeah, it was not a good scene. Let's just leave it at that. And then
I bet Michael Jordan was upset when he was leaving last night.
I'll tell you another ugly was I think it was early in the week. San Jose State, they missed a chip shot field goal to beat Central Michigan. I think that was Thursday or Friday night. It was a really tight game, and the kicker just missed. It was more like an extra point. He just yanked it and should have won the game for him.
All right, so real quick, I'm just going to run through a few here. I'm honestly going to say that Carson Beck in Miami. Listen, I kind of dogged Shannon Dawson, for a few years here early on in this show. I have to give him some credit, man. Like coming back, what he did with Cam Ward, and now taking on Beck, and coming out in game one when they were 3.5-point underdog at home as a top 10 team, and to get them ready to play and to have the offense. They had some really, really nice catches to go along with everything in that game. So I'm going to say that Miami on top of the LSU. I also want to throw in Florida State as a good Florida State after a disastrous of a season last year, coming out and doing what they did in the trenches against an Alabama Crimson Tide team is definitely a good sign for the Florida State Seminoles. The bad, I tell you what I'm going to go with that I don't think a lot of people are going to even think about, but Kansas State had to score really, really late with under a minute or I think to go to beat North Dakota. Was it North Dakota or North Dakota State? Good one.
Yeah, I think it was North Dakota.
North Dakota. To beat North Dakota 35-38 after losing to Iowa State last week in week 0, and then flying back and damn near losing at home. Avery Johnson and that bunch, Kansas State. I'm giving you from week 0 and week 1. I'm giving you my bad. You are the bad for me. And then, I mean, honestly, you stole mine with Bill Belichick in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go with another. Honestly, I'm going to put Alabama and Kalen DeBoer here. I mean, like, if I'm going to pick another from instead of North Carolina and Bill Belichick, I'm going to go Kalen DeBoer for my ugly.
I kind of agree with Jerry. He said North Carolina has to be ugly. When Herbstreit's dog Ben, actually it's Peter, was calling the end of the game with the headset on.
Yeah. It was pretty.
It wasn't Ben. Ben died. It's Peter. Ben passed away a year ago. But I kind of wanted to bring up something else because, like, this is a Kentucky show, right? And we talk Kentucky too. I'm going to give a shout out to the defensive front for Kentucky Saturday. They have not been great the last 2 to 3 years at generating pass rush. Now, everybody's going to say, well, they was playing Toledo.
But Toledo's not a slouch team, to be honest.
They had 3 sacks. I think Kentucky's got a decent pass rush this year, Brett. And I'm going to give them a shout out.
We'll find out. We'll find out Saturday.
We will. And then I kind of want to – there's some key games on Saturday. I kind of wanted to not just kind of number off a little bit. Illinois plays Duke. Iowa plays Iowa State. I think Oklahoma State plays Oregon. Ole Miss and Kentucky at 3:30. South Florida travels to Gainesville. Arizona State and Mississippi State play Starkville. The big game of the night is in Oklahoma, Michigan. What a huge game that would be for Oklahoma if they could pull that out.
Mateer looked really good on Saturday.
And I'm going to say one more thing. I was not going to do this, but I'm going to do this. But this past week, a lot of people don't know Brandon Robinson, the WYMT weather guy, passed away. Brian Milam was doing a tribute to him with his tie, I think, today, suit. My prayers go out to Brandon was a wonderful person. In the community, Hazard, wherever you want, even in the tri-state area, Lexington, wherever. He was a great meteorologist, knew the weather. He loved the weather. My prayers go out to his family. He was a really special guy. And a lot of people were mourning his loss in the Eastern Mountains. Like it might not be nothing to anybody in the big cities, but to the mountain folks, guys like him don't get recognized very often. And I feel like he needs to be recognized. So Godspeed to his family and those around him.
100% agree with that. The local people and the regular everyday people need their praise as well. So definitely some prayers go out to him and his family. Western Kentucky this week goes on the road and plays at Toledo. I just want to throw that in here. Don't be surprised if I might throw this game in with our game day pick'ems this week. I think it's going to be a big game. To be honest with you, Western has put a lot of points on the board the first 2 weeks, and this is a big game for the Hilltoppers and for Toledo after the Kentucky loss. This is a big deal.
You said the final buzzer. Did you see tonight where a Vanderbilt player pushed for a 5th year for football players?
No,
they would be granted a 5th year. It was something that was on. I can't remember. I looked it up earlier. I can't remember. It was a Vanderbilt player, I think.
I didn't quite see it. Go to Home Field Apparel. Check out Home Field Apparel. Over 180 teams. They have a lot of new stuff out this past month in August for a can't miss kickoff. Go check them out. Use our code CSCast for a 15% discount if you're a first-time buyer. Check out the Real Fresh channel and Stadium Rant, and go to their YouTube page, like, subscribe. We're going to be doing a new show, Wildcat Weekly. We're going to kick that off next Monday night. We are got big plans for a special debut show on Monday night with quite possibly some Kentucky flavor of actual current players. I'm not going to give out just who just yet, but check out our show next Monday night. That should be a big deal.
It was a 5th year being proposed. College football athletes have filed against the NCAA for a permanent 5th year.
That don't surprise me.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming.
It's out there. So,
all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. This has been the Big Fuss Show. This is the first one of season 4. We do these on Tuesday nights. Look this week for our Game Day Pick'em show. We are either going to do it at our regular time on a Thursday night, or we are going to be doing it at a different time on a Friday night. We got to decide which one we're going to do. John is doing some coverage of local high school football, so we are going to kind of work around that a few times this year. I think he's got 4 home games or something like that. So
4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to work around that a little bit. This week happens to be one of those for his local high school. So we are going.
You don't want to get kicked off the station, right?
Yeah, Bo's always coming in at the very end.
Go Vols, man.
Yeah. Bo knows. That's all I got to say. I'm telling you, Bo knows.
Oh, goodness.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
If y'all love Brad, send him some pecan pie. He loves pecan pie.
Jerry says do it Thursday. John don't want to see Dallas lose anyway.
Yeah, I knew he was coming. I knew he was coming back. I knew his little antics was coming back. So
we're gonna call it a night. This has been the Big Fuss Show, season 4. We appreciate you being with us and all the people that followed along and the comments. We appreciate that. So y'all have a good night. We will see you either Thursday or Friday for Game Day Pick'ems.
Have a good one.
All right, guys. Have a good night.